It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hello everyone and welcome into Northwest Texas today, and it's Possum Kingdom Lake near Graham, Texas, revisited on today's show. Now I will tell you that beautiful Possum Kingdom Lake that you see right here behind me has undergone some tremendous challenges over the last couple of years, beginning with massive wildfires burning thousands of acres, destroying many homes around the lake area here, followed by a golden algae outbreak that killed a large percentage of the fish in the lake in the winter of 2009 and 2010. And that was then followed by an incredible drought that dropped the lake levels to historic lows, 7 or 8 feet low, and stranding many of the boats and docks and boat ramp access on this lake. Now, the lake has experienced a little bit of a comeback just in the last few months, and we're here today to check on that and see how the fishing is at PK. And while I'm out doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest weekly fishing reports from the Southwest region, from Oklahoma to Louisiana to Texas freshwater and along the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast, the saltwater fishing. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to be showing you a great striper fishing hotspot down in South Texas at Lake Livingston. And on this week's Costa Catch of the Week, someone wins free sunglasses and we show you a fantastic photo of a very unique saltwater species that's making a big comeback along the southern part of the Texas Gulf Coast. It's going to be a lot of fun. Glad to have you along in the next half hour. But first, we get you back to the FSN studios where Julie has your weekend planner.
I've got great news for all of you weekend anglers. The Salooner tables are showing the best fishing of the month will occur on Saturday, with your prime hours starting at 11:50 a.m. The tables also indicate good conditions on Sunday, with peak activity beginning at 12:40 p.m. The sun will be rising at 7:02 and setting at 7:51. And we just had a full moon, so it will still be 98% illuminated. Stay with us, we've got fishing updates from around the Southwest, and Bobby Myers joins me on the Whataburger Ask the Pro to talk about fish attractiveness.
Thanks very much, Julie. Before we get started today, I'd like to mention that your time is almost out to enter our Facebook sweepstakes for a chance to go fishing with our insider Texas saltwater reporter, Bill Olson. He's a charter captain. He covers the entire Texas Gulf Coast, and he's going to take one of our viewers on a great speckled trout and red fishing trip at one of his favorite hotspots along the Texas Gulf Coast. To enter, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Southwest Outdoors Report. Important, the first thing you need to do is click the like button. Once you do that, then you can fill out the form, enter the sweepstakes, and you might be our lucky winner that gets to take a guess and go fishing on the Texas Gulf Coast with our insider saltwater reporter, Bill Olson. Enter now, time is almost gone. Stay with us, back to Possum Kingdom right after this.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lou's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
Got him. Up. White bass. Not big, but we have a start. All right, welcome back everybody. Your SOR is on the road today at Possum Kingdom Lake. And let's just set the stage for you just for a second here. Tell you what's going on out here. We've had a chance today to do a little driving around, scope things out. And I'll tell you that the water here is just a beautiful color. It's crystal clear, kind of a greenish color. It's a perfect color for catching fish. It's not murky at all, not muddy, even with the rain that we've had. And I'm gonna have to get the needle nose pliers out after him. The lake is about 5 to 6 feet low, something like that. And as I mentioned, there are some boat ramps that are out of the water, a few that are still usable. We're down in kind of the mid-lake area. The South D&D boat ramp is still halfway in the water and half out right now. The boat ramp right across from Costello Island is pretty much closed. It's out of the water. So you have to check and see which boat ramps are still usable if you're coming here. The lake is low, but it's still very fishable. And I'll tell you about what's been biting here. Costa is a good friend of mine who's a guide, and they have just been hammering the white bass like this, except bigger than that, hopefully, on every trip. They've been getting limits for their guide customers. So he fishes Unfair Charters is the name of his service, and he fishes Possum Kingdom very regularly. I'll tell you a little bit more about what the fish are doing, where they're located, and how you can catch them a little bit more in just a second. But that sets the stage for what's going on at Possum Kingdom right now. Let's check in first on your weekly fishing reports with Brian Hughes with your Lone Star Lakes in Texas.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters, where you still have time to book trips for the 2012 dove hunting season. We're going to start in East Texas this week on the Texas-Louisiana border with Toledo Bend, where you'll find crappie on the chicken coop. They're about 20 feet down, and you can drop minnows or crappie rigs on top of them to catch your limit. Right next door at Sam Rayburn, you'll find the bass in the grass, but it's a little bit different pattern from what you're used to on Big Sam. Instead of punching shallow grass for big fish with a jig, you're going to want to find those deeper submerged grass beds around points and channels in about 14 to 18 feet. Drop down your various Carolina rigs, deep diving crankbaits, or the A-rig on top of these fish, and you'll catch bass on Sam Rayburn. Also at Big Sam right now, they've got a really good sand bass bite along the sides of the bridges during the early morning hours. Look for the schoolies and throw clear tiny torpedoes at those fish. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Executive Outfitters. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. Well, hunting seasons are upon us, and so is fall fishing. For the very best monthly coastal and inland fishing information, plus year-round hunting tips, pick up a copy of Texas Outdoors Journal on newsstands or subscribe securely at the website on the screen. Well, coastal anglers got another early taste of upcoming fall conditions when higher tides push more water into upper coast bays in advance of Isaac. Higher tides typically scatter fish. Then, when tides recede, the falling water pulls bait out of the marshes and into the bays. This will increase fish feeding as well as bird activity overhead. Sabine throughout Galveston and Trinity Bays and even Matagorda Bays have seen bird activity, and that should increase after the storm's passage. Also expect winds to moderate, and this could present opportunities to fish mid-bay reefs as well as pads as conditions settle. In deeper bays, use a 1/4 to 3/8 ounce jig head to make long cast and get down to the better fish. On the middle and lower coast, deeper reefs, grass beds, and channels will continue to hold trout. Redfish are starting to move and school. If these portions of the coast experience any increased tide levels, expect the schooling to intensify. Keep an eye peeled for surface commotion as well as fish pushing away as they move. Gold spoons, soft plastics, and live baits are good choices. Around Spoil Islands, mouths of Barrier Island back lakes, and the shallower flats will all be good places to catch redfish. Try topwaters early and late. This weekend, Saturday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. This Sunday is a 3 tide day with 2 high tides and just 1 low. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Got him. Oh, good pull. All right, another wide. Hey, welcome back everybody. We're on Possum Kingdom Lake today, checking everything out after the burn and the golden algae kill and the drought, low water conditions, all the problems that Possum Kingdom has had over the last few years, but yet the fishing is still really good here, surprisingly enough. Now let's talk about how we're catching these white bass. Out here behind me, you're gonna notice out here in the background that we've got an orange marker buoy thrown out. The white bass right now, all through the late summer and going into the fall months, are keying in on bait fish, on little threadfin shad, and they're right off the Brazos River channel. So what you're gonna wanna do is use your electronics, use your depth finder, use your contour map on your fish finder to find where the Brazos River channel is. Now, again, I mentioned that we're actually right now, we're just off the North D&D boat ramp, if you know where that is on Possum Kingdom. But anyway, out off the river channel, find the little humps, the little ridges, the little points that come up off the bottom and then drop into the river channel. Those are the places that the white bass are keying on. They're chasing shad. So what you do is drive down those humps, those ridges, until you see bait fish on your fish finder. Once you find that, chances are you're going to be around fish, and you can catch them one of two ways. We'll show you the two baits at the end of the show, either a spoon, a slab, or a little soft plastic bait like my little Bobby Garland slab slayer, but we'll show you all that at the end of the show. And actually what we're doing here is pitching it out, letting it go to the bottom, and then sweeping it up off the bottom, and that seems to be the way that they're biting it the best. Let's go up to Oklahoma, check on your fishing reports from there with the Sooner Beat and Gary Dollahan.
School started, the daylight hours are getting shorter, and there's football on TV again. Boy, you can tell that fall was just around the corner. Longtime guide Ivan Martin tells me he's already starting to see some of the fall patterns develop on Grand Lake. Here's what he had to say about the lures and techniques you can be using right now to catch some fish in the state.
For fall fishing, this swimming minnow made by Bobby Garland is one of the best baits. In the fall, the white bass move to the banks, and just any windy gravel bank, and just on a jig head, just throw it and reel, and you can catch a lot of fish, and that action will stay good until about November. Crappie fishing come up. The Bobby Garland baby shad, you can't beat that on an 1/8 ounce jig head, fishing in brush piles. But something I like to do is fishing on ledges, and you can find the ledges where the crappie are bunched up, and that is starting early. We caught some this week on those. Black bass fishing is the biffle bug. We've been Texas rigging. We caught some today on it, flipping the boat docks, and you can catch them on hardheads too, but flipping the boat docks is Texas rigged. And something that I like to do tremendously is on a shaky head rig, on a big jig head, this is a salt flicker, and just throw it out on the jig head and drag it on the bottom. Sometimes we pinch the legs off of it, and sometimes we leave it, but that's a great bait now. This is also a good bait. We're throwing them weightless. They're heavy, they have a lot of salt in them, and we've been catching about 6 inches of water early in the morning.
Ivan points out that these same things will work on lakes all across Oklahoma over the next several weeks. He also said to tell you can't catch them if you don't go.
We've got a good friend named Simon Cosper who guides down on Lake Livingston, and he keeps us posted on the striper fishing there. It's one of the best striper lakes that gets very little attention and very little fishing pressure in our region. But we highlight it for you on this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. So let's locate Lake Livingston for you on the HDS-10 Lowrance system on our Nitro boat here. And we locate the lake just west of Livingston, Texas, and just north of the Houston area. Now we zoom into the lower end of the lake for some detail, and we show you the dam on the south end of the lake here. There is one island out in the middle of the lake. There is some good striper fishing all the way around it. There are more underwater humps off the river channel, and any of these can hold stripers on any given day. Now the river channel snakes down the east side of the lake on the right side of your screen, and any place in this circle out in open water can hold schooling stripers on any given day. So you want to keep your binoculars handy, scan the horizon, and watch for those diving gulls and egrets to clue you in as to where those stripers might be the day you're there. And that's this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have more from Possum Kingdom Lake and more of your local fishing reports.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineering for anglers.
Your Southwest Outdoors Report is exploring Possum Kingdom Lake after the golden algae bloom, after the wildfires, and after the drought on this week's show. I will tell you that we started off the morning doing some largemouth bass fishing. Now, we didn't actually get any of these fish up in front of the camera. We threw topwater baits for about an hour and had 4 good blow-ups on topwaters. Got 4 fish hooked and did not land any of them. They were from about 1 pound to about 2.5 pounds. The other thing we did not do, but we heard about, was the striper fishing on PK. We talked to some locals. They said the stripers are doing well. They were stocked a couple of years ago. They've grown up to about 16 to 18 inches long right now, and they're catching those anywhere from the Hog Bend area out in front of South D&D boat ramp all the way down to the dam. That's the stretch where those stripers have been biting the best. Now let's talk about the wildfires. The most recent wildfire did not burn right up to the shoreline of Possum Kingdom Lake based on what we've seen today. The older wildfire from a year or 2 ago is beginning to heal. As you can see from this video, you can see a lot of burned out area, but if you look closely, you can see a lot of green scrub brush beginning to grow up in between those burned out mesquites. So this land is healing, and some very nice reconstructed homes are going up and under construction right now. We'll show you one of those real quickly. Very nice homes going up on the shorelines of PK even as we speak. So Possum Kingdom is healing from the wildfires both onshore and off with the fishing. Let's take you right now to Louisiana. This week's fishing reports with Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hey friends, it's old Cajun Phil here in Southwest Louisiana with your Fox Southwest Louisiana fishing report. I tell you what, we all just kind of been sitting tight, holding back, but you know what? Just before this bad storm comes in, they were tearing up the speckled trout and redfish. Matter of fact, Kevin was limiting out with specks and reds both days. He had a party from Houston, Texas came in. They went back home with a nice chest plumb full of big old fillets. Right now, though, all the boats are up. They're on the trailers, and they're back home in Lake Charles, away from the high tides. Because what happened is the tides raised up so high we couldn't even put the boats in the boat lift. So, other than that, I tell you what, the rivers are going to be awful muddy right now. Calcasieu was just starting to really begin to turn it on, and they're every Wednesday evening dog fights. They were catching lots of bass on spinner baits and buzz baits, and now with all this water coming in, the river's going to get muddy, and I tell you what, it's going to be off for a little bit. But we'll keep you posted on the rivers, let you know when they start to clear up. As far as the saltwater action goes, as soon as everything passes through and it calms down a little bit, I tell you what, just remember, right now they're catching lots of speckled trout and redfish, and I look for this to happen all the way through. All we got to do is dodge a few more of these storms. Till next time, this is old Cajun Phil for Captain Kevin saying, happy fishing, and may God bless, and we're going to see you folks next week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Whataburger Ask the Pro. Our question this week is from Don in Tonkawa, Oklahoma, who writes, how long do the scent fish attractants remain effective? For the answer, let's ask professional angler Bobby Myers of Jenks, Oklahoma.
As far as lure scent's concerned, the best baits are the ones that the scent is cooked into the bait. Otherwise, it's going to last about 25 to 30 casts in your spray-on type scents. These are good rules to follow. Go catch them.
Thanks, Bobby. If you have something to ask one of our pros, go to southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send us your question. Have a great weekend. Now it's time for your Costa Catch of the Week.
Back on the boat ramp to wrap it up for you, and our congratulations this week goes to our Costa Catch of the Week winner with a very unique fish for our Southwest region. Congratulations to Rachel Judd of Lakeway, Texas, showing a 35-inch snook. That's right, a snook caught in Texas waters in the Brownsville Ship Channel. A catchable population of snook is now available down in South Texas, so you might want to give that a look. Rachel wins a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses of her choosing, and you can see all of the Costa frames and lenses at the Costa website, including this month's Frame Style of the Month the Galveston sunglasses like the ones I've been wearing on today's episode. If you would like to send us your big fish photo, go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Once you do that, you'll need to join and become a member of our fan club. It's free, and once you do that, you can fill out the form and you can win free sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week. Time right now for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature. We show you the 3 baits you'll need if you're coming to Possum Kingdom to have a chance to catch several species of fish that are prolific here in the lake. We've got these displayed. First of all, on your right-hand side is a Seville topwater chugger. You'll need a topwater to catch largemouth bass and schooling white bass and stripers. Then in the middle, that's a 1/2 ounce chrome jigging spoon. You'll need that to catch those stripers and the white bass when they go deeper and get down on the bottom. And then on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll need a suspending bait. That's a 1/4 ounce lead jig head rigged with a Bobby Garland 3-inch slab slayer in pearl and white. If you'll have those 3 baits handy, you can catch several different species of fish here at Possum Kingdom. Hey, don't forget, our show will be on next Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. in its regular time slot. No baseball games to interfere next Thursday night, and we'll re-air Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, you can always catch the latest episode of our show 24/7 at the front page of our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com. You can catch all of the past episodes of the show. If you go on vacation, you can always catch up on our YouTube channel. Link to that from the front page of our website, and lots of Facebook content that you'll never see on the show, facebook.com/southwestoutdoorsreport, or you can also link to that from the front page of our website. Possum Kingdom is on the way back. Lots of fish being caught here. Come out and experience it for yourself. From Possum Kingdom Lake, Northwest Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.